Hello students, welcome to our YouTube channel Student Helpers. This video is approved by Student Helper staff to computer application students. In this video, we are going to learn why it is important to initialize a variable in a Java program. In first topic of our this chapter, we are going to learn after initializing a variable, what is the important step to be followed by the user. Now moving towards the first topic, that is initializing a variable. When user declare a variable, or we can say when user input a variable in Java program, so it contains some garbage values, or we can say the cache values, which create problem for the execution of a program. Although a user will not get the proper result of the correct program logic in the execution at the execution time. So it is very important to initialize a variable with some declared values, or we can say to get a meaningful result or a correct result of the program. So we have to define it under a specific value which can provide the correct result of a program. This is called the initializing a variable, and this is our first topic, that is at the end, that why it is important to initialize a variable. Now moving towards the second topic of our chapter, that is related to how many types of initialization is available in Java. So you are seeing the image on the screen that is showing there are two types of initializing a variable, that is static type, or we can say the direct assignment type, and the second one is the dynamic type. In dynamic type, it means the assignment of the variable is given at the time of execution or at runtime. So that is the end of types of initialization. Now moving towards the third topic, that is what is static initialization in Java program. While learning about static initialization, I want to tell you that this is the type of initialization which is used for the direct inputting, or we can say for the direct input of a variable value. Okay, in this type of initialization, the variable is defined with direct assignment in defined variable. The variable is initialized during the declaration, means when we are writing a program, or the user is writing a program and he is declaring a variable, for example a, so he or she have to initialize the variable at the declaration time, not at the execution time or the runtime. That is known as static initialization. Means static initialization is also important while writing the program, in which it is important to declare a value to the variable at the declaration time. For example, a simple program of sum is the example of static initialization, as in that if the sum of two numbers is important to be find, so we have to initialize, or we have to declare a variable at the declaration time, means before the actual program use. Means a variable which is declared at the declaration time is used by the program logic after the declaration of a value to it. That is known as static initialization. That is the end of the static initialization. Now moving towards the fourth topic. Before moving towards the fourth topic, there are some initialization of variable with correct data type, as we declare it at the declaration time, or the static initialization. In this integer, if we take the integer variable, for example int is capital A, so we have to declare it with any value, but the default value of integer is 0, so we have initialized it the variable A with 0. Now moving toward the second data type, that is float. We have declared a variable to float data type, that is small f, so we have to declare it with a perfect value, or we can say the correct value, which is important for the program logic. So the default value of float is, which we have declared to the variable that is 0.0. Now moving toward the third data type, that is double data type. In this type data type, we have declared a variable that is small d. So we have declared it with the default value. The float and double both work for the real type values. So both of them have the default value same, that is 0.0. Now moving toward the fourth data type, that is character. Character data type is written as char in program. So we have declared a variable to it, that is c. So the character variable have the default value as a simple inverted commas without any declaration of a alphabet between it. So user have to declare a alphabet between both of that inverted commas. Now moving toward the fifth data type, that is string. So in a string we have declared a variable with capital S. So the default value of capital S will be double inverted commas. In between that, the user have to declare a string that can be a word or a group of word, that is called as a sentence. Now moving towards the sixth data type, that is boolean. In boolean we have declared it with a variable p. So p is equals to false, because in last video we have learned that boolean have only two value, or we can say a two in default values, which boolean have its own or inbuilt values, that is true or false. So it works on the correct or wrong condition. If the condition is false, so it provides the result in false, and if the condition is true, then it provides the result in true. So that is the end of initialization of variable in correct data type with the help of static initialization. Now moving towards the fourth topic, that is what is dynamic initialization in Java program. So now we are going to learn dynamic initialization of a Java program after the end of static initialization. So now we are going to learn dynamic initialization. When a variable get initialized at runtime, means during the execution of a program logic, it is termed as dynamic initialization. When we provide the correct value or the specific value to the variable in which data type it is defined, so that type of variable is, that type of initialization is known as dynamic initialization. In this condition, a variable is assigned under arithmetical or logical functions. If user is writing a program in which he used arithmetical or logical functions, so he can use the dynamic initialization in its program with a specific values to the variable by providing a specific value to a variable at run time. That is the end of dynamic initialization. But I have to tell you one more thing, that the dynamic initialization is very important for your whole syllabus, because majority of the programs in Java is done, or we can say is run through the dynamic initialization in programs, as majority of the programs have arithmetical and logical functions in its logic. So that dynamic initialization is very important. Now moving towards how to initialize the variable in dynamic initialization. So in this type I have covered only 4 data types, that is integer, float, double and string. Same is for char, means character, and same is for boolean, right? First data type is integer data type. In integer data type I declared 3 variables, capital A, capital B and capital C. So there is an arithmetical expression which is written in the Java program, that is C equals to A plus B, means A and B have their static initialization. So C will have its dynamic initialization at the runtime or at the execution of a program. Now moving toward the second data type that is written, that is float. In float, I provide three variables to float, that is p, small k and small f. So 2 p and k have their static initialization 22.2 and 4.22. F will have its dynamic initialization at the execution of a program that will be p plus k, means F will get its correct value at the runtime or the execution of a program after the sum of p value and the k value. Now moving toward the third data type, that is double data type. In double data type, in this type of expression I provide two data type. First is int and second is double d. So because I have used a arithmetical expression of square, so in int data type I provide a with a static initialization of 49. So in double data type I declared a variable, that is d. So d will have its dynamic initialization at the runtime after the execution of a program, and for mat.sqrt means the square of the under root of 49 will be the 7. So d will get its correct value 7 at the runtime or at the execution screen of a program. Now moving towards the fourth data type, that is string. So string, I declared three variables to string, st1, st2 and st3. So st1 and st2 will be declared at the runtime of a program, and that will be declared under double inverted commas, and there if user provide or if you provide it with a group of sentence to st1, group of word means a sentence to st1 and second sentence to st2. So third will be the concat of both the sentence, means the addition of both the sentence, means if st1 will have I love and second st2 have two more word, that is my India, so st3 will have the concat of both the words and st3 have its correct value at the execution time, that is I love my India. That is the end of how to initialize the variable in dynamic initialization. So in this whole video we learned about why it is important to initialize a variable in Java program and the type of initialization available in Java. So at the end I want to tell you, if you don't get or if you don't understand any part of the video, so you can comment that part in the inbox me in the comment, so I will provide you the new video about that and I will give you a proper understanding about that part of the video which you are unable to understand. Thank you from Student Helpers.